Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about my follow-up with my doctor at UCLA. She's a neurologist. She is actually my prescribing doctor. So she is the doctor that prescribes my GammaGuard immune globulin medication for the stiff person syndrome. So she's the one that diagnosed me with SPS and prescribed that medication to help my SPS. She is actually leaving. So she's leaving UCLA. So I'm not going to see her anymore. I don't know where she's going. I don't know what happened. And you'll see that by the end of the appointment, I still didn't know what happened. And this visit inspired another video. I actually made a video on bad doctors, like different qualities that bad doctors have, because I somehow noticed that she had a lot of these qualities. But let me tell you how the appointment went, and then I'll talk to you guys about, just some things that you may need to watch out for if you have a doctor like this. So if you guys have been watching my exosomes updates, I did see her in May after my exosomes treatment. I had my exosomes done in January, at the end of January, and had to see her in May because I had to stop my my IVIG because I was having like an interaction between the exosomes and the IVIG. And so I kind of made up a story because I didn't want to tell her exactly what had happened or where I had this done. And I don't want to get my doctors in trouble. So I made up a story that I had gone, to a stem cell clinic in Mexico. But given the situation, the fact that things have not been going well, and that I want to make sure that now I'm looking out for myself. I'm not looking out for, the doctor that did this treatment or the guy, the company that provided the product. Right now, it's about me taking care of myself and doing what's best for me. So I needed to talk to her and follow up with her and correct, especially because she's leaving. I wanted all the notes in my file to be accurate and correct, so that the next incoming doctor that's going to take over my care has the right information, accurate information. And I think that's in my best interest because, again, I don't know what the long-term effects of the exosomes are going to be. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm still dealing with flaring, and it's just in my best interest to be honest with these doctors. So I told her that, when we got into the appointment, I told her, I said, look, I just want to be straightforward with you. I want to make sure that the notes are accurate, that you have the most accurate information because I wasn't, completely honest. So the funny thing was that, when we started the appointment, she was like, so what can I do for you today? And I'm looking at her like, your office contacted me and they said that I had to schedule an appointment with you. Like, it was weird. It was very strange to start an appointment like that. Almost like I was the one that had requested the appointment and she was just like, I don't know what we're doing here. But I just, like I said, I just went for it. I told her everything. I told her the true story. And I said, look, I just want you to have accurate information. So I told her, everything was done under doctor supervision. The product was thoroughly researched. I mean, I gave her the 411. I gave her everything exactly as, as it happened. And, it was just, it was really a weird appointment. She sat there and stared at me. She had like a blank stare on her face the whole time. I got nothing of value from this appointment, like very, very little. I mean, she literally was just staring at me. I don't even know if she blinked. It was just so weird. And apart from the fact that she was like, how can I help you today? I was like, that was weird. It was almost like I felt like I was going through a drive-through, it just was so bizarre. Didn't ask me questions, didn't I think one of the only things that she said was, I'm not familiar with that treatment, so I can't speak to that. Um, yeah, it was such an awkward, uncomfortable appointment. And like I said, she seemed like she was out of it. Like she just was not here on this planet with me. She offered no alternative treatment options or a path forward. She actually did not tell me she was leaving UCLA. She did not say. I actually started the appointment. When she said, "How can I help you?" I said, "I was told that you were leaving, so I wanted to do this appointment so that you could have the most accurate information possible." She never said, "I'm going to be leaving at the end of January." I did receive a letter from UCLA saying that she was leaving, and the guy, her receptionist or her medical assistant did tell me she's leaving. Um, so you need to see her. So I knew that she was leaving, but she said nothing, nothing, nothing. She didn't say I'm leaving. She didn't say, this is gonna be your new doctor. Nothing, nothing, nothing. It was almost just like we're just having, follow up here. Um, the only thing she told me, so she, like I said, she didn't offer any alternative treatments, any other treatment options, or why don't you try this other thing with the next doctor that comes in? Why don't you discuss this with him and see what he says? I mean, I don't even know if it's a him or her. I have no idea. The appointment was very much up in the air. It left me feeling like everything was just up in the air. I did ask her, I told her, I said, I don't want to lose my prescription for the IVIG. I know, she renewed it until next September. And she was like, okay, like, sure, that's fine. And that literally that was it. Like, it wasn't like, okay, um, are you gonna do it? Are you gonna try it? Like, how often are you administering? Like, literally nothing. She was just like, okay. And so there was no discussion of, like, literally, she said so few words. The only thing that she did advise me, she said, drink a lot of water because sometimes we metabolize medications differently. That sweat sometimes can help to get a medication out of your system. And I'm sitting there like, this is not stem cells, because I did tell her what exosomes were. They're like stem cells. And she was acting like I had taken like Advil or something. And, it seemed very like old wives' tale to me, like home remedy, like just sweat it out, just drink a lot of water. It'll eventually work its way out of your system. And in my mind, I'm like, that's not how this type of treatment works. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure that this is not how this kind of thing works. Um, she seemed uncomfortable. Like I said, I don't know the nature of why she's leaving. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. And so she could have gotten fired because she didn't say anything about this back in May. Um, and that's another thing too. That appointment back in May, it was also a telehealth appointment. So these appointments have been over the computer because of the pandemic. And back in May, she didn't even turn on her camera. So I couldn't even see her at all. And I was like, oh, I can't see you. And she's like, that's fine. I can see you. And that was kind of like my first sign that, things kind of were not good. Like, I started getting the vibe. I'm like, you know what? This doctor is just, she's just not doing it for me anymore. And, you know, I overlooked a lot of stuff with her because she was able to get me the medication that I needed. And so I feel like I overlooked a lot of things because of the fact that she was able to get me the Gamma Guard, and because I had another doctor, my immunologist, that was almost kind of guiding me through the treatment, even though she wasn't the prescribing doctor. But looking back now, had I not had my other doctor, it would have been a disaster. It would have, I mean, it kind of hasn't been that great. And I think I just overlooked everything because she got me this medication and I needed to be grateful. And I am grateful that she got me the medication, but she's just not a good doctor. And to be a doctor at a university, at one of the most prestigious medical schools in the country, it just was like, I don't know how you got here. Like, it's just so weird to me. She seemed very uncomfortable. She developed a nervous tic, and it's a tic that she did not have before. And I'm not pointing this out to like be a jerk. I've had nervous tics in the past. When I was younger, I did have a nervous tic for quite some time. And I know they are related to ongoing stress. And so I'm guessing that maybe something happened. Maybe she was fired. Maybe there was some kind of issue and she didn't anticipate that she was going to leave. Or maybe she was asked to leave. She was asked to resign. Or the job could have just become way too stressful. But I noticed that she was having kind of like a constantly clearing her throat. Like when she would talk, she would clear her throat like between sentences, and a little bit of the blinking, when people blink kind of tight. And I know for a fact that tics like that are from stress. They're from lots of stress. And I want to say too that she maybe had lost weight because she looked kind of thin. I mean, she just didn't look well to me, and I have a feeling she was at her house. Like she didn't look like she was in an office at a medical building or at a university. It looked like she was at home, but I don't know. It was just a very strange appointment. Like I can't make heads or tails of what was going on in this appointment. And like I said earlier in the year, I didn't actually see her face. I didn't notice that she had a tic because I didn't notice that she had that vocal tic back in May, but I also couldn't see her face. So I couldn't tell if she was happy or if she was mad or whatever. Like, and it's, I feel like as a patient, you're my doctor, you're my prescribing doctor. You should know, or I should be able to see your face. You should at least give me that. The other thing too, back in May, she kept asking me these questions like, what's your dosage of your medication and how are you administering your medication? And I was like, you're the prescribing doctor. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that she's leaving. I wouldn't be surprised if she got let go from the job, if she was asked to resign or asked to leave because, she just, I mean, that's really crappy. You're not even looking at my file before the appointment. And then literally she was phoning it. And I understand that at this last appointment, she would be phoning it in completely because she's leaving. She probably like does not even care. She's like, why am I even going to try? Because I'm being booted out of this job. So why would I care? But a few months ago, I don't think she knew that she was going to leave, or I don't know if she already had plans to leave. And she was just like, I don't care. So, I'm just hoping, I feel like this is a good sign. I feel like this is an opportunity to explore another doctor that may know more about this condition or may be more interested in this condition. Because, she just is not doing it for me. And like I said, at this point, my medication is not working for me. I'm having all these other issues, and it's just time to explore new options and a new doctor. So I'm hoping that this is kind of like, one of those things that's just kind of like a good thing that I didn't anticipate. So one last thing too before I go, after I got off the appointment, I was like, I'm gonna look up this doctor. I don't think I had Googled her since the first time I had seen her, which was back in like 2018, may have been before that. So I Googled her and a YouTube video came up, and the YouTube video was probably from like 3 years ago. So I was already her patient, I believe, at the time. And it was in, I want to say Chinese, but I don't think it's Chinese. It's Mandarin, I believe. She is, she's Chinese, I'm assuming, because of the video. And she was speaking in that language. And, I'm telling you, night and day. She was animated. She wasn't over the top. She's never been an over the top type of doctor, but she was smiling. She had different tone in her voice. She was explaining something medical, and she had hand gestures and things like that. And I was like, wow, like this is such a difference to what I had seen at my appointment. Like she was literally like expressionless, emotionless, just could not make heads or tails of how she was feeling. I mean, it was just really, really strange. So, I know that she's capable. She's a capable doctor. I just think that maybe she was fed up with the job. I don't know. She just seemed like she just was not feeling it anymore. And so I think that this is it's going to be a good change. But I wanted to make this video because I did do that video of bad doctors. And this is an example of a bad appointment, like a really bad appointment. One that is just, I mean, it was totally useless. It lasted probably less than 10 minutes. And literally, she said very little. She just sat there, stared at me, really showed very, very little care and concern. I mean, I know you're leaving, but at the same time, you are transferring my care to another doctor. And not even that. I didn't even get I'm leaving. This is going to be your new doctor. It was just like, okay, that was it. So I just wanted to do this. I will probably add this to my stiff person syndrome playlist just to have it there. Because she was my treating physician for that condition. And I will let you guys know who the new person is. Hopefully it's somebody good, because this is just really, it was just so beyond disappointing. She's been a huge disappointment this year, I must say. And the only reason I have seen her twice in 1 year is because of, the pharmacy, and her office contacting me. Not because she actually wanted, I mean, it seems almost like she didn't even request to see me, because she didn't even know. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.